The gaming market is starting to break, and I kind of haven't really. I'll be honest. I've been more of a casual gamer nowadays. I'm not really like that interested in a lot of games that are in the modern era now. But
This is a
I'm
PlayStation
I
5.
am
It came out
curious.
in 2020 at $399. And now, even though it's 6
6 years
years
ago,
old,
yeah.
it costs $599.
So
Nintendo's
it just
announced a
went up
price
$300
hike to
extra.
their Switch 2. The Xbox has raised its price 3 times since
Wow,
2025. And the scariest
wow,
part is not even the extra
that's a
money, it's
lot.
what's happening around it. Because at the same time, PlayStation announced it's going to stop shipping physical game discs entirely. Xbox has
Ooh, yeah. I'll be honest. I think I stopped buying physical media, at least physical PlayStation games. For I was like, what's the point in doing that? I just buy digitally, right? And guess what? I bought a digital game, right? It was so I was a I forgot what was it, but I ended up talking to PlayStation support and they could not resolve my issue. I even just said like, just remove the game, refund me so I could just repurchase the game, but they said they couldn't do anything about that. And Bandai Namco actually gave me another copy of the game, and they're super nice about it. They hooked me up really good, and I even no matter what, I'll just say like I really like their support. Sony just left me hung to dry. Well, not Sony, but PlayStation.
five of its big game production
It's
studios and
pretty
fired
messed up.
thousands of people in
And
what's
I
been
think like nowadays, like a lot of people are reverting back to physical media again, right? They want to own what they bought, and because like not everything is becoming more digitalized, like they want something like more tangible.
the biggest single layoffs in gaming history, all while
Oof.
Nvidia has started capping how many hours a month you're allowed to play.
What? Oh, that's for GeForce Now users. What does GeForce Now do? I'm actually not so sure about that.
And using their services. The craziest part? Everything I've just mentioned is linked. This is actually all part of a single
Hmm?
chain reaction that's already started in the gaming industry. And I don't see where it stops. To understand what I mean, if we were to take apart this PlayStation 5, inside you would find
Don't worry, it's
16
pretty much
gigabytes of RAM,
useless.
or memory, which it needs to be able to run games. A
The
single
problem with PlayStation and Microsoft is nobody are really that invested in their exclusives. I mean, the Wolverine game looks okay, and what was it, Luffy? I just don't like overly cinematic games, right? Where like the problem with cinematic games I have is they remove control out of the players. Like all the cutscenes. It reminds me of what was it? Order 1886? Was that the game? Yeah, Order 1886. Oh man, so many cutscenes in that game.
AI chip from Nvidia,
And
the Blackwell
that's what it
Ultra,
reminds me.
requires 288 gigabytes of memory, 18 PlayStation 5's worth of RAM. Now, it is a fancier type of memory than what's in your PlayStation, but it's made on the same production lines by the same companies. So every gigabyte that goes into this is a gigabyte that can't be made for a PS5. And the problem is when AI companies buy chips for their data centers, they don't just buy one. Chips are sold in racks, each containing 72 of those AI chips. So one rack equals 1,300 PlayStation 5s. Oh dear. And they don't just buy one rack.
Yeah, like there's like been like a lot of discourse between the AI and like data centers and all that stuff, and I kind of am like in a defeatist mindset that I already like am uh already assuming that AI is gonna not stagnate. It's gonna continue being like it's gonna continue adapting, evolving. It's gonna grow bigger, and because it's gonna be used more, like I just don't see the point in like constantly going against it. Even though like I don't the one thing I do am strongly against is what is it like they could take your property just so they could put data center or something like that, or like whatever. I forgot what was the whole thing. That's the only thing I don't like. But then that's like allowing them to take like a step and stuff like
are
that.
purchased in clusters.
Uh,
Last year, Microsoft
there's
switched on their
like
first
AI
big cluster
stuff.
to help power the growing need
I'm
for
indifferent
OpenAI's
now.
ChatGPT models. That cluster
I used
was
to be strongly
64
against it, but
racks in
nothing's
one go.
changed.
83,000
And in
PlayStation
fact, it just
5s.
got
And here's where it
worse.
gets truly terrifying. Even that was barely a test run compared to the scale on which these new servers are being set up now. Just a year later, OpenAI is currently building out the Stargate campus that will reportedly hold 100 times the number of racks as that first purchase.
Wow.
8.3 million PlayStation 5s worth of memory in one company's one site. That's almost enough PlayStations for every single household in the entire continent of Australia. And so when you factor in that there are also other AI companies, Meta and their even larger Prometheus site, xAI's Colossus, supposedly the world's most powerful data center, Amazon, Google, and every other big tech company who's galloping headfirst into the AI wars, we have.
And why would they not? That's the question. I think like when everyone was against it, the problem was that like they all fell behind against like people who are continuously using AI and evolving it further, right? Like I think AI, like I think you either like it or you don't. I don't want to say like there's a gray area for AI, right? It's either you think it's like useful or you think that it'll become like a problem in the future.
Reached a point where AI data
And I think
centers are
like
now
the
estimated
problem
to be
is a
swallowing
lot of
up
people are stuck up on
70%
morality
of the
issues with
world's
AI.
memory output. 70% is going into building services that we'd barely heard of 5 years ago. And that has left everything else on the planet that needs memory. Every phone, every PC, every car, every console having to now fight over
The
the
Earth is
small
just
and
fucked, man.
rapidly shrinking
Earth is just
pool
screwed.
that's left.
Better quickly take us to
Why
Mars.
don't they just make some more memory, you ask? Well, I don't think they want to. See, the entire world's memory supply comes from largely 5 companies. And if we're talking about the specific type of memory used to make RAM, that's only 3 companies: Samsung, SK Hynix, and
Man,
Micron. And
all
these
the
3
PC
companies could
parts are
certainly
like
choose to invest tens
so
of billions into
expensive
new
now.
factories to be able to produce more, but that would take 3 to 4 years to build. And if there were to be an AI
Everything's
crash
just
in that time,
becoming less and
they'd have
less
spent it all for nothing.
affordable.
And so why take the risk when they're currently raking in cash? These companies are currently lapping up 70 to 80% margins on their memory compared to the historical norm of 30 to 40% because of one simple fact: that their new favorite customers, big tech companies, will pay absolutely anything for it. We are in a very unique situation where, basically for the first time since the dot-com bubble, some of the richest companies on the planet, like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, are not even behaving like businesses. They're spending more money than they're even making from AI because the fear
Oh,
of losing the
okay.
AI race has actually become bigger than the fear of debt. This is a very precarious situation for the world to be in, and it puts these memory companies in such a powerful position that it feels like they've just decided to forget entirely about the consumer, with Micron actually quietly shutting down its consumer memory brand, crucial, to focus on these data center business customers. Now, new factories are coming. Elon Musk and Intel are building a giant AI complex in Texas, for example, that will also make some memory, but none of it produces anything meaningful before 2028. Plus, almost all of that new capacity is being built for, you guessed it, the AI customers anyway, because, well, you already know now. So how much more expensive has this memory really become? Well, to give you an idea, within just 3 months at the end of last year, the price of a single 16GB stick of RAM rose almost 300%, according to Tom's Hardware's RAM price index.
All
Ashish
that to
Sharma,
tell me
CEO of
that things are
Xbox,
getting
said the price we
more
paid for console
expensive.
storage components was over 2 times as high as we paid last fall. These costs have since doubled again, and as we plan for the
I
2027
think he
holiday
could have
season,
just cut
we
off
expect
like
another
all of that
significant
and just
rise,
told me
taking us over
that
5 times the
PC
prices
parts
we
are
paid
like
only 2 years earlier.
parts
5
for
times.
console are
Memory is
becoming
getting
more
so
expensive
expensive that,
than just
according to a report
trying
from
to.
TrendForce, on some high-end
It feels
graphics
very
cards, the
guilt
memory that's on the
like.
card, known as the VRAM, now accounts for
I
up
don't
to
know.
80%
I just
of
feel
the
like
total
that was
cost. Let that
all
sink
of
in.
that
The
stuff.
actual
Just I
clever
just
bit of
don't
the
give a
graphics card
fuck.
that you should be paying for,
I
the
don't really care.
GPU chip that companies like Nvidia spend billions designing, is on some cards now costing less than the basic memory that soldered around it. Here's where it starts to get problematic. The implications from these higher prices are bigger than they first seem, because when the prices go up, of course, fewer consumers buy. Like if we take PlayStation, in May 2026, just after the price hike, Americans bought fewer PlayStations than they had in any May since the year 2000. That's before the PlayStation 2 had even come to America. Xbox had the worst May in its entire history, and it's much bigger than just PlayStation and Xbox. Any company that makes any type of computing hardware. I was speaking to the director of one of the big Windows handheld companies, the companies that make this kind of stuff, and his words were, man, Windows gaming handhelds and computers are dead now. No company will launch new products if the memory prices continue to rise. It is crazy now. How bad do things need to be for a director of a currently operating business to call their own business dead? Even
I
like
might just
Valve, typically the strongman of
I
value
might just
gaming,
skip this.
just
I'm not
launched
even
their
gonna
Steam
lie.
Machine, a box that's barely as powerful as the 6-year-old PS5, for $1,049. It's not going to be the next Steam Deck, put it that way. So all of a sudden,
I won't even lie though. I thought this was gonna be talking about like games in general and not the hardware issue of gaming. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Like the hardware is like an issue, but another thing is just that recently the games just have not been that palatable. Like, and people are becoming a lot more like pick and choosy, right? Like they see a game they really want to play and they'll like hold on to that, but a lot of the games they're like not really that interested. And also like the issue is the pricing of games, right? Like games are now headed towards $100, right? Like there is no reason, right? Let me uh there's no reason why Echoes of Aincrad is like $70, right? Wait, is it? Yeah, it's $70. There's no reason for that game to be $70. There's a like a very different between like a good quality game being $70 and a bad quality game being $70, and they both believe they should be costing $70, right? And with the new GTA game, right? GTA 6, people are gonna justify the game to be $100 and they're gonna accept it. And guess what? A lot of the game companies are gonna believe that they are justified in selling you a product, whether it's good or bad, to be $100 because that has become like the new ceiling, right? And people justify it. People accept it. People will make excuses for it, right? Like, while I do understand, like, also a lot of studios are now using like AI in the background to like help um improve the game or help um streamline the game or make it quicker to develop, right? Like what's the Phantom Blade Zero, right? Like one of the difficulty is like sort of like adaptive AI, right? So I just think we're headed towards a direction where people will willingly pay more, but they're gonna buy less, right? They're gonna choose what game is appropriate for them, and they're gonna stick by those companies. It's sort of like how people have stuck by From Software for so long because they have that kind of trust, right? They've enjoyed the games, even though I think for me, I've slowly like waned out on like my thoughts on From Software. But okay, let's take for example Halo Studios, right? The people who just made Campaign Evolved, and for whatever reason they decided that game should be costing $50. It's pretty much a full price game, stripped of multiplayer, and worst of all, they didn't even give you a trial, right? I believe they don't have a trial for that game. I can check right now. They do not have a trial for Campaign Evolved, And if you get the premium edition, is a full priced game, which is $70. And like you cannot justify that at all. But people will, and people are. And people believe that Campaign Evolved is appropriate for its price, even though it's just a campaign game. Like back then, okay, let's take Gears of War, right? Gears of War back then it had campaign, it had horde, it had multiplayer. You could play that offline. I used to just play horde offline with my friends, just like Halo ODST. That game just had the campaign and even has like a horde mode to it, right? Like, but now they're regressing, right? They're regressing, believing that just like a campaign is suitable enough. The problem is, right? A lot of people have played campaign evolved and they could just get the Master Chief collection, and even that's just $40 right now. That's just $40. You could get it on sale probably at some point, and it costs less, right? And that's for all the Halo stories. Like the problem with the gaming market is they're not willing to take chances a lot. I think Pragmata is kind of like taking a chance. It's kind of innovative, kind of new. Maybe Phantom Blade Zero might be that as well. But the problem is there's very few games to sort between, right? At least for AAA, right? And now it's left more towards indie, right? And those are usually lower priced games. They're like 20, 40, at the very most 40, or just like 9.99 because they understand. I've had this thought process where if I was ever to develop a game, I'd want it to be the most accessible, right? Like I want it to be priced lower, and I want it to be easily configurable, moddable, I suppose, right? And the problem is a lot of studios don't have that kind of same mindset. I think the best one in that case, right, is Left 4 Dead 2. That is like the game, right? Or maybe Gmod, right? There's like a lot of like, but the like a lot of people are using Unreal Engine, uh, and these games they come out horribly. Like back then, the games were also like not that good, but these games are like a decline in terms of quality, right? Like QA is terrible for these games. Bugs galore, and they freaking make your GPU run like a jet, right? Because like it's unoptimized as heck, and the rising space for your hard drive or memory is just taking up even bigger. So like the more unoptimized it becomes, the more they feel like they should not purchase more games than they already have. And they're more picky towards these games. They know that they know what they want now. People have the choice of what they want to play. And the problem is Sony does not want to make their games a lot more accessible, right? It's the same with I was about to say Ubisoft. I believe Ubisoft has the Ubisoft Connect that you have to connect to, right? And the problem with Sony is you have to connect to a PlayStation account. Is that correct? I'm not so sure. We'll find that out if there's another Sony game, right? But shoot, what was it again? I was thinking about Titanfall 2. I wanted to play Titanfall 2. Guess what? I'm never gonna be playing Titanfall 2 because uh you need a EA account, right? So I don't plan on remaking an EA account. I don't remember my EA account. Don't remember the email I used for it, so I'm not gonna bother caring about that. There is no reason why I need to log in to another thing to play the game I purchased, right? And that's just fucked, right? People are making drawing lines on the sand now, morality on physical media, physical discs that they want to own hard copies of the box because they could collect them, they could put them on the shelves. It looks nice, it looks organized, it looks beautiful, right? And digital media doesn't scratch that same itch, even though we found digital media back since Netflix era that like digital media we were to believe that it was gonna be like the future. And the problem is now the future has arrived and you realize that Sony or Netflix um they could restrict you access from these things you believe you own, but you do not own these things. Even though you purchased it in the EULA, they're probably saying like you don't own these things, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm probably just not gonna watch this full video because like I don't really care about like the whole AI issue. I'm kind of numb to it at this point. I understand like the parts for it is becoming more expensive and that might be another draw to it, and that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I only got through like about to be 7 minutes, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, I'm gonna bow out of this one.